In today's video, I'm going to teach you how to know if low iron is the cause of your fatigue and the best way to take iron so you can make sure you're not wasting your money. Hi, I'm Dr. Jesse Morris. I specialize in natural solutions for fatigue, gut health, and autoimmunity. One of the most common causes of fatigue that I see in my practice is low iron. In fact, iron deficiency is the most common nutrient deficiency worldwide. So iron is the key ingredient in your red blood cells that carries oxygen to all of the other cells in your body. And just like a fire that needs oxygen to burn, your cells need oxygen in order to burn fuel and make energy. So if you have low iron and your cells aren't getting enough oxygen, they can't make as much energy and you end up feeling fatigued. It makes sense, right? So if you have fatigue, what other symptoms could point towards low iron being the cause of that fatigue? Some of the common ones are bruising easily, having thin or brittle nails and hair, having your heart race or feeling like you're out of breath, you're not getting enough oxygen. Restless leg syndrome can be a symptom of low iron, and you can get a paleness in your skin, particularly around your lips and gums. So those are a handful of symptoms that can point towards having low iron, but in order to know for sure, you really need to measure it with a blood test. The best lab marker for iron is something called ferritin, but here's where things get a little tricky. So in order to be technically iron deficient, your ferritin needs to be below the lab range or marked as low on a lab. That would mean your iron has to be super duper low. Here's what I mean by that. So the typical lab range for ferritin is 15 to 150 nanograms per milliliter. So in order to be technically iron deficient, you need to be below 15. But what research shows, and in order for optimal function and optimal health, in order to not feel fatigued, your ferritin needs to be at least 50 for females and at least 100 for males. So if you're a woman with fatigue and your ferritin is under 50, I would definitely recommend supplementing iron and digging into figuring out why is your iron low in the first place. I'll make other videos about those causes, but let's talk today about supplementing. So my typical recommendation for supplementing iron is like this. It's a little complicated, but here it goes. So I typically recommend 50 milligrams of iron bisglycinate, and the best way to take it is every other day with food before noon. I know it's kind of a mouthful, but let me break it down for you. I recommend taking iron every other day and before noon because that's where you're going to get the best absorption of the iron. I recommend taking it with food because honestly, iron supplements on an empty stomach can be a little rough on the tummy. The form that I like, the iron bisglycinate, I like it because it tends to not make people constipated. Sometimes iron supplements can really back people up. So I'll say the whole recommendation one more time. So 50 milligrams of iron bisglycinate every other day with food before noon. So I hope you find this helpful. And like I said, if you are having an issue with low iron, supplementing is great to bring the levels back up, but I definitely recommend digging in to find the underlying cause, find out why is your iron low in the first place. So like I said, I hope this is helpful. If you have questions about this, feel free to leave a comment below. Or if you want some one-on-one help, you can contact me to request an appointment. All my contact info is up on drjessemorris.com. Thanks again for watching, and I look forward to seeing you soon.